Hello, it's Mike with TradeWinds RV Center here to congratulate you on your Keystone Passport Ultralight 2400 BH travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things to take into consideration when you're parking. On your campsite, there'll be plenty of room for this awning to come out. On your off campsite, of course you're going to leave room for your slide, but I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power is going to be behind your slide or behind your tires, just above them. Stores inside, big long 30-foot cord. So think about where your power's at, and then your water connection is going to be up toward the front. There's your docking station there. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive and unhook our hitch, first thing we do is level our unit. Unit has a power tongue jack. Simply pull towards you to lift it, push away to lower it. Should you lose power, underneath this rubber stopper here on top, this little hand crank that's in your storage can get this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery post every now and then, make sure nothing's wiggled loose over time. Once we got our unit level, next thing we do is stabilize it. All four corners of the unit got these scissor stabilizing jacks and a 3/4 inch hand crank. Simply get in there and crank these down. Now I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris, and hot blacktop in the summer. Good investment. Grab a 4-pack of those from our store. Get them down and run these down just until they're taut. Remember, our unit's already level. We're just running these down to stabilize our unit. Once you get all four of them down on all four corners, here's your front ones, there are your rear ones. Get all four of those down on some jack pads, got our unit level and stable, we can hook up our power and water. Again, your power cord stores inside your unit. Pull that out, big long cord, 30 amp cord. Should you need to plug into a 110, in your convenience pack will be a 30 to 15 amp reducer. So you can plug this into a 110. Get your power plugged in, let's hook up your water. At campsites, we're going to hook up to your city water connection. First and foremost, a water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi. Always use these because you don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. Hook that up, hook up your hose. Don't turn your hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. Yours is located on the rear of the unit. And all we're doing at this point, folks, is make sure our drain plug's back in there. Throw a little plumber's tape around that, not putty. Putty will gum up on you. Plumber's tape, get that in there nice and snug, then you can go ahead and turn that hose on. After that hose has been on for a little while, we're going to go inside. We're going to open up our slides. Here's why. Come up in here and open up our slide because I want to be able to get to my sinks and showers in there and go ahead and turn everything on and get all the air out of the lines, get a nice steady flow of water going through them. Then you can shut them off and you're all set to camp. Now let's say we're going to go camping. We're now going to go to a campsite. We're going to take this and go boondocking. Well, in that case, we're going to fill up our freshwater tank, which is right next to our city. No need for a water pressure regulator here. You can gravity fill this with a hose. Two ways to tell it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right there. Or two, on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks, there's also a freshwater button. Keep an eye on that when you're filling it up. Don't leave it unattended. Once it's full, remove that hose. Go ahead and put that cap back on there, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump, which I'll show you when we get indoors. All right, you're all set up to camp, the power and water. I'm going to go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit. Continuing here on the off camp side, big pass-through storage area. Again, fresh water and city water. Down underneath here is going to be your freshwater drain. Right down the other side of that jack. A little note on your slides. They do got a lubricant that you can apply to these seals. Keep them nice and flexible and pliable over the years. Adds to the longevity of the life of those. Helps them seal better as well. Behind our slide, again, our power. Outdoor shower, your 751 Clio, open that up. It's a hot and cold shower. Black tank flush, we'll talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks. Down there's our low point drains. We'll talk about that when leaving the campsite as well. Come around to the back of the unit, you got a cover for your spare tire. Good to keep that on there. It keeps your tire from dry rotting. You're prepped for a backup camera. Again, your hot water heater is here. Accessory hitch. Your awning does have a pitch control if you're in a light rain and you want to run the rainwater away, but highly recommended bringing these in the rain. Most of the shades are for shade. Not best in high winds or rain, so put it out for shade, bring it in the storms. Get your outdoor kitchen here. That will lock here. Here's your griddle. Quick connect for your water. Underneath here is your quick connect LP for that. Make sure you lock that away for travel. Don't want that bouncing up and down the road as you're going. Outdoor fridge. Holds up by magnet. Make sure it's up there so it doesn't hurt you. Come back down this side. We've got access to the back of your fridge. A couple of outdoor speakers. A couple of 110s. Flue for your furnace. A few things on that. One, make sure you never have anything blocking it. Two, if you're running your furnace, steer clear of that. It does get hot. Just some bug guards for those as well. Campsite again, our entryway. Pass-through storage. Your hand crank for your jacks and your hitch work. Your propane does come with a cover. Simply going through here to turn it on. I'm sure it also has a regulator pointed toward the tank you wish to be using. A lot of people put it in the center for automatic crossover. I recommend doing one tank at a time. That way you know how much you have left. Last over here, you do have a docking light, and you can plug in a solar panel right there, and that'll help trickle charge your batteries. Well, it covers everything out here. Let's take a look on the inside. Alright, coming up beside the unit. First thing I always like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. To my left, up top, is going to be my control panel. So starting up top, buttons we can push to see your brand new battery. Freshwater level, that's the one I said to hold down when filling your potable water. Black and gray tanks. Here's where you turn on your water heater if hooked to gas, your water heater if hooked to electric. Does make a difference, choose correctly. Here's where you turn on your water pump to utilize that fresh water. Your awning, retract and extend. I just want to tell you, you only want to extend that out until you can see that bar and that flap has fallen down. If you keep holding extend down, that will flip itself up onto itself and start rolling itself up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you run it out and don't run it out further than you need to. Our awning lights, which would be our porch lights. Ceiling lights for in here. Slide, we'll utilize that when bringing everything back in. You have to have a battery hookup in order for that slide to work. Tells you so right there. And that's for extra if you ever had a slide on here. Shut our porch light off. Let you know that slam locks work best when gently slammed. Alright, to my right is going to be my thermostat. Let's go in here and crank your air up real quick. AC. I should kick that on. There is a quick dump on these as well. See how it's closed right now? That's when you feel it really good through your main vents. You open this up in a hot kitchen, it'll blast it out and cool it for you. Notice also they circle through and shut the thermostat, or shut the AC off. Generally, most ACs shut off pretty quickly. A second here. Make it through to off. Alright, there's off. Now, I'm going to turn back on. This time I'm going to go to furnace. Furnace will kick on. Hear that? Hear it mainly by its return underneath the fridge. Now you'll notice when I shut the furnace off, it's going to take go straight to off. It's going to take a couple minutes for that fan to cycle through before it shuts off. Every furnace does. Entertainment center. Nice strap for your fridge Here's your remote. One thing I recommend is when you get to the campsites, go into your menu, find your digital antenna channel scan, and run a channel scan so you can pick up your local channels. This one's here. Again, strap this in for travel. Sound system. Furion AM, FM, Bluetooth. CD, I can't remember if this is DVD or not. But nice sound system with indoor and outdoor speakers.
Marco needed to hire everyone from the reception.
This recruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult.
And again, go through to links, AV, auxiliary, FM.
Recruiter.
Nice sound
This
system.
recruiter can help you find the
Remote for that. I think DVD might be on here. Have to check it out. I noticed at least a CD player. Alright, coming into our kitchen area. Just want to mention your sink. You got plumbing down here to maintain. Keep an eye on it, especially if you guys travel a lot in this. You're bouncing a house up and down the road, you want to make sure your plumbing hasn't wiggled loose. Up here you've got your self-explanatory microwave. Nice light and fan above your cooktop. I can't remember if I... No, these will have to be stick lighter. Couldn't remember if I left the gas on, but yeah, these are a stick lighter. Turn your gas on here. Stick light those. Same thing for your oven. Move it to pilot. Get underneath there and light it. Fridge. Turn that on. These pneumatics are simple. When this is pushed in, you're on auto. Auto means when you're plugged in, you're on enough electricity. As soon as you unplug, if your gas is on, this will switch to gas. Lift that up for strictly gas. If that light comes on there, your gas is low. Usually keep that on auto. Now coming into our bunk areas. Oh, there's your lighting. Power back there. Lighting here. Power there. Emergency escape window that you can push out there. A lot of these do, so I'm assuming this does as well. Yeah, a little storage back there. Access to that through here. To my right, before going into the bathroom when I'm down here, I'm going to mention your breaker box and fuses. A ton of 15s in there, a couple 40s. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. Down below that is your propane gas detector. Keep an eye on that as well. Coming in to the bathroom, you have a hand crank open. Power exhaust vent in here. 110 with GFCI reset. And again, more plumbing to keep an eye on. As you see, mostly PEX nowadays. So just, again, keep an eye on it. Make sure nothing's wiggle loose down the road. There's access panel to your plumbing underneath there. Make sure that's closed for travel. Coming into our dining area. This table will lift up off those legs. Remove the legs. Put the table down on these wooden lips all the way around. Move a couple flat cushions. Put them on top of there, and it gives you a whole nother sleeping quarters for the short people. Coming back into our bedroom before entering it. The rear door is where your smoke alarm is. Speaking of doors, you want these snapped open for travel. When you're bouncing down the road, you want that like that so that doesn't move around. And then you've got storage up underneath your bed as well. Lighting here on both sides, up top. Fire extinguisher, I think I mentioned already. Your other light here. Alright, that about covers everything inside. So act like we're leaving the campsite and get ready to close the unit up. Prior owner left a lot of paperwork here for you, so check out your owner's manual. Alright, what I like to do is say doors and drawers. Walk through the unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Snap your TV up for travel. That's all ready to go. Your remotes and your bags I'm going to put up above here in a nice travel area. go to my main control panel and shut off my ceiling lights. That way I know any other lights that are on are individual or accent lights that have to be walked through and shut off by hand. All lights are off. Come back to my control panel, turn my ceiling lights on, and say doors and drawers. Now we're going to walk through the unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede my slide from coming in. My vents are closed. And I'm going to hit glide room in. Again, you utilize every inch on these glide rooms. So we want to make sure that door is mainly closed. Secure any kitchen utensils, etc. And as the slide gets in, shut off our ceiling lights and exit the unit. Steps fold up real easy. Now before you leave the campsite, because we're going to go to the dump station first, before you do, lift and turn this handle, lock and deadbolt that door. Horror stories of doors coming open, that's how you want that door for travel. Now if we are dry camping, we're going to bring up our stabilizing jacks, come over here again up underneath our freshwater tank and dump our freshwater tank. Hook up our hitch and head on home or to the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. If we are at a campsite, we're going to unhook our power, our water, our cable, bring up our stabilizing jacks, hook up our hitch, and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump's going to be behind your tires on your off-camp side. Got a 10-foot hose, comes with your convenience pack. Going to hook that up, and first thing you're going to do is pull that black tank. It's the one on your right-hand side. We're going to go inside, check the level of that. Once it's empty, come back out here, leave that black handle open, and grab the hose at the dump station and hook up to this tank flush. Now hook that up and let that run for a good 5 minutes. You're on vacation, 5 minutes is worth washing that out. Get that a good wash out of all that nastiness. When that's done, remove your hose. Now look at your level of your black tank and make sure all that washout water you put in there has drained. Then close your black and pull your gray. Now while my grays are dumping, I'm going to go ahead and dump both them low point drains right there. When them are done, because it'll be less water back here, come back here to our hot water heater. We're going to lift up on this pressure release valve. That's going to dump some hot water out of there, so be careful. Push that back down and then pull your drain plug for residual hot water. When your gray is done, we're going to close that up, grab your sewage hose, and conveniently and sanitarily store it right here in your bumper and head on home. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Passport for many years to come. Happy camping.